Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video we're talking about Nintendo Switch, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, and more. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, I'm feeling a lot better, but my voice is still not 100%, not even anywhere near close to that. Anyways, we'll start out by talking about Super Nintendo emulation on Android with SNES 9X EX+. In fact, almost every single emulator that Robert Broglia has. So it turns out that almost every single one of Robert Broglia's emulators got an update, both paid and free. So as for what's new, they've got a couple of bug fixes and some brand new features. They've reduced input lag. They've added a CPU affinity mode, and this is on certain devices. And this defaults to using only the performance cores during emulation for more consistent frame rates. And they've added support for themed icons on Android 13. Now, if you want to directly support the developer, you can buy the emulator right on the Google Play Store. Or if you wanted to pick up the APKs for free, you absolutely can. They are free and open source. You'll have to pick them up right from the GitHub, but I'll drop a link in the description below and feel free to check it out. Moving on, and we're talking about Game Boy Advance emulation with one of the best GBA emulators out there, mGBA. mGBA version 0.10.2 just released, and this is mostly a bug fix release. Important fixes include crashing on start on very old GPUs, and flickering issues on NVIDIA GPUs when using the OpenGL renderer. The main developer, Ndrift, has actually been pretty busy, and an already amazing emulator just got a little bit better. mGBA is free, it's open source, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Feel free to check it out. Next up, we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on PC with Yuzu. And the paid testing early access version of Yuzu just got a very interesting update. So we talked about some big early access changes yesterday, and today is no different. Early access 3531 re-adds asynchronous presentation. This improves game performance. The extent of the performance gains varies based on device specifications. Weaker hardware can experience more improvement compared to stronger systems. And the other Switch emulator on PC, Ryujinx, also got a brand new update. So the mainline build of Ryujinx version 1.1.731 just released, and this implements DMA texture copy component shuffle. It fixes inverted red and blue in 20XX and Dragon Quest builders and possibly other games that use OpenGL on the Switch. Next up, we're talking about Nintendo GameCube and Wii emulation on Xbox with Dolphin. And Dolphin Emulator for UWP, which stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Universal Windows Platform, just got a brand new update. Version 1.1.5 just released. So they've added in a controller profile selection menu, classic controller and sideways Wiimote default profiles, paid mapping options for NetPlay. NetPlay can now join PC-hosted lobbies, and general improvements, including an alert for when users select folders with incorrect permissions. The developer also has an open letter to the entire Xbox community that might be worth checking out. Dolphin Emulator for UWP is 100% free and open source, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Next up, I've got a quick update for you about the Powkiddy X55 situation. We've talked about this one the other day, where somehow Retro Breeze got their hands on a Powkiddy X55 well before it was officially launched. And the screen was dim and it barely ran PS1 games, and it was a major disappointment. Anyways, in a weird turn of events, apparently these were reject units that shouldn't have been released at all. It turns out that some sort of enthusiastic salesperson sent these out to companies to distribute, and they shouldn't have been distributed. Retro Breeze has a full update, and I'll drop a link to this video in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. Next up, we're talking about a brand new Game Boy Color game that's almost done development. It is called Cosmo Knight Scion, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below. The demo of this game is up on itch.io, and you can check it out absolutely free. It kind of reminded me of Ghosts and Goblins meets Mega Man meets Ninja Gaiden. Kind of. And speaking about free games in your browser, for those who may not be aware, Eaglecraft is a questionable way to play Minecraft in your browser for free. And Minecraft, or Mojang rather, continues to crack down and try to eliminate this from the internet. So according to this article, which I will leave a link to in the description below, Mojang has sent DMCAs to Google and also Cloudflare to remove Eaglecraft. And to this day, Eaglecraft still remains. The developer of Eaglecraft says, "So long as I don't get any knocks on the door from FSB, I will try my best to keep the site online. interesting. And speaking about interesting, last up here we're talking about Google Authenticator. And the Google Authenticator now supports Google account synchronization. So if you are using the Google Authenticator and you lose your phone, you're no longer screwed. Google Authenticator is backed up to the cloud and you can transfer it to another phone. In my opinion, this is one of the big reasons why Google Authenticator doesn't have more than 3.6 stars, and it was preventing a lot of people from using it for a lot of different programs. A lot of people turn to different programs like Authy instead. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. Again, apologies that my voice is absolutely shot. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be a little bit better. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about anything we talked about in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.